Hi everyone, today we're going to do lesson 1.3 video notes on cultural interactions. Our objective for today is going to be that students will be able to analyze the cultural interactions among American Indians, Europeans, and Africans. So today we're going to talk about the Spanish system and their involvement in North America. And we're going to start with the treatment of natives. They were known to be very hostile with natives, violent, and even known to rape native women. The Spanish set up North America in what we call viceroyalties. Viceroyalties were set up in New Spain in North America, and they were essentially governments that were established here. And these governments reported to the king. Each viceroyalty was divided up into different haciendas. Haciendas were land grants that were given by the Spanish king and divided amongst different Spanish individuals. And within those haciendas, you have what was known as the encomienda. And that is what allowed slavery to take place on these haciendas. They started with Native Americans, but eventually moved to importing Africans against their will. And it was the start of what we know as slavery in the Spanish system. The Spanish also had conquistadors, and the goal of the conquistadors was to conquer the Americas. So they really wanted to control the Americans and control the Americas. This eventually did end when the Spanish Armada was defeated. We're also going to spend some time today discussing the Spanish missions that were built all throughout the Southwest. They were built by Catholic missionaries, in an attempt to convert the natives to Catholicism and Christianity. In addition, these Spanish missions also provided natives with food and shelter. However, that came at a cost. It was in exchange for labor, which was really better classified as slavery or a type of slavery. Over to the right here, we have a picture of a Spanish mission that was created or that was built in San Antonio, Texas. And as you can see, it is very much fortified. So not only did they use this to convert natives, but also as a form of protection against the natives themselves. Now we're going to talk about the French and the relationship between the French and the natives. As you can see, the French were established mostly in the Northeast America, think close to current day Canada. And their focus was mostly on trade with the natives. They mostly traded with the Huron Confederacy. You can see an image of that to the right here. And their focus was mostly on trading beaver fur. However, they did this to the point of extinction in some areas. So overall, we would say that the relationship between the French and the natives was mostly peaceful. with a focus on trade. So we're going to move on to the English and the English relationship with the natives. It was a very mixed relationship depending on where you lived. In some areas like Jamestown, it could be hostile, whereas in other areas up north, it could be peaceful and even cooperative. They typically had disagreements over land. The natives believed that you could not own land, right? That the land was there for you to use, but not to own per se. The English did not believe this. The English felt that you could own the land, and the English felt that because they were the first to arrive, that they did own the land. They even gave the natives gifts, which the natives viewed as essentially like a rent payment for the land. So they didn't believe in the same idea of ownership. And this led to several different disagreements with the Powhatan and even led into the Powhatan War. The Powhatan blamed the English for the 3-year drought that was taking place. Remember when we talked about Jamestown, we talked about the drought. And they blamed them for this drought, said that they brought the drought. And this essentially is what finally terminated the relationship between any natives and any English in the Jamestown area. So we can summarize by saying that the Spanish had a very violent relationship with the Native Americans, the French had a much more peaceful relationship focused mostly on trade, and the English had a more mixed relationship with the Native Americans.